Mean Girls 2024. Is it fetch or not?
Oh, goody, goody, here it comes.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show.
You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here.
Oh, my God, don't stop now!
With your hosts, Ryan, John, and Elaine.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show, the madhouse for film freaks and film fans of all types. I'm your host, Brian Kyneton, joined with fellow co-host and filmmaker, John Woolscroft. And we have a special episode today.
If it sounds interesting, we're in a car right now.
We are in a car, and
winter's coming.
Winter is coming. well, although in Pittsburgh, it is rain and slush and all sorts of manner of grossness coming.
Yeah, if you hear like wind and rain, it's because this is going to probably turn into like 1 million inches of snow.
I mean, if it wasn't global warming, it would.
Like, I thought that was a hoax by the Chinese.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
But this is a special short episode. It's a short episode, mainly because, as John said, we are recording in a car. And that's because we just came from our very first press screening. Holy shit, John.
We're kind of a big deal.
Only took like, what, 8 years?
Something like that, yeah.
Something along those lines.
But just a short decade.
Just a short decade. No big deal. But yeah, we came from our first press screening of the new movie, Mean Girls, and this is releasing in accordance with the embargo of reviews being lifted on the movie. And this is kind of our first reaction. So that's why I said, like, this is not a full-length review. This is basically like this is a bonus.
Yeah. We'll keep it spoiler free, but I will tell you right now,
spoiler free.
If you've seen the original, you've seen this.
I mean, what's there to say about a movie that, really makes you feel old? It's all hell. Well, I mean, it really does.
Well, Brian, my initial reaction is why? Why does this exist?
I would say it exists to update high school for us old folks who graduated in 2004. Well, I mean, that's what this is for. It's to show us that, hey, Instagram, TikTok, and all that stuff amplifies the Mean Girls message 1,000-fold.
Yeah. Because I would say, obviously, other than the fact that this is a musical, which is, I'm sure, this follows that line of make the musical the movie, make the musical movie.
Yes.
Producers, Little Shop of Horrors, what have you. Is that other than the singing part of it, it's just, to me, it was just Mean Girls again, but with technology.
Well, couldn't you say that the producers is the same thing? Like Mel Brooks is the producers. First came the movie, then came the musical, then became the musical movie.
Yeah, I love the producers. It's actually my favorite Mel Brooks movie.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah. But I've never
switch there.
I've never seen the movie musical because I'm like,
with Matthew Broderick and Nathan Lane. You never saw it?
No, I didn't have any interest in it because to me, like, movies are great, musicals are great. I'm not overly in love with movie adaptations and musicals. I love musicals, but seeing them on a stage.
Yeah.
And so this, I'm like, and I don't know if they expect us to like wipe this, movie's ass with compliments.
I don't know. Well, I mean, here's the thing. We're not going to wipe this movie's ass with compliments because that's not our style. Yeah. Now, this might be our only press screener we ever go to, but that's okay. That's okay, John, because we have to be honest. We have to be legit.
But I would say this, like, the key thing with this movie is that makes it different is the music, and the music is really bad.
The music is really bad. The acting is from most of the cast, with the exception, I would say, of 2 people. Okay, 2 people make this movie, and keep in mind, like, we just came out, so I'm going to pull up IMDb. John, say something while I fill dead air.
Say something while I fill up dead air.
No,
is that not?
no. Like I'm going to pull up like who these actors are because I don't want to be that guy who's like I don't know. But truthfully, I don't know because we just came out of the theater.
Well, what were the characters?
The ditzy girl
Yes.
And
the new Amanda Seyfried.
yeah. Now there's so Avantika, who plays Karen.
Yeah, I think a lot of these people are like music performers.
I can tell that.
Yeah.
The other person was Jaquel Spivey, who played Damien Hubbard.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Both those characters, holy shit, saved this movie from being like unwatchable.
I wouldn't go that far. But
I would.
Well, for me, it was like what I liked in the movie was what I already liked when I saw it in 2004.
Now, here's the funny thing. And this is something I don't think I've ever said on the podcast.
Hmm?
I've never seen Mean Girls all the way through.
Oh, okay. What? So you've seen like an hour of it?
I've seen like clips of it.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like I get the vibe of it. Like I had no idea about the bus thing. Had no idea.
Oh, okay.
About that. Had no idea. Spoiler: that bus thing happened. But I mean, again, the movie came out in 2004, so like that's gonna happen. But yeah, I've only seen clips of it just because like I never was into this. Like I don't know, the teen comedies that I remember were like Can't Hardly Wait.
Yeah,
you know,
something with Jennifer Love Hewitt or Melissa Joan Hart.
Far Superior. That one has both of them. Okay.
Yeah.
But yes, far superior if you ask me, but still like, you know, that's what I remember. So like I was well past this. But I could clearly tell that this movie, the current movie, the musical, does not have me in mind at all. This is, and I again, for the listeners who are, I don't know, closer to the target demographic within this film, so high schoolers, or at least 20-year-olds pretend to be high schoolers. Tell me if that's reality at all, because I don't know.
Well, I think it was closer to somewhat of a reality of 2004, and then they just said, well, what do we do now? Oh, we'll do the same thing, but we'll have TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok. So we talked a bit about the music. You didn't like the music. Why didn't you like the music, John? What was it about it?
It seemed derivative, unnecessary, unclever chord progressions, and I know that's the whole point of a musical, but I'm like, I don't think that the music needed to be there, and that's the whole point of a musical. But I'm like, I think we kind of got the point already.
My problem with the musical side of it, like I thought it was clever how they at some points managed to transition between like the talking pieces then to the music, and they did do that in some like very like, oh, that's pretty cool how you did that. But they fucked themselves over a couple times because they set up this whole idea that the musical parts are done in like CinemaScope, which that's a common trope. Like if you go to like Bollywood films, like a lot of them do that same sort of thing. So they got that set up, right? And then like all of the talking parts are going to be in, you know, standard format, like 16:9. And they started on this track, but then somewhere on the way they were like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to have musical parts be in 16:9 too, because we don't care. And like, I know that most people don't give a shit about that sort of thing. And like, for the people who are like listening to this review going like, did you like the movie or not? They're not going to care. But I care.
I care about aspect
because
ratio.
that's setting up a motif across the film. And that's something that like, if you like break that, you're kind of not paying attention to the form of the film.
Yeah.
And that kind of, you might say like that's an inane, minute thing, but it's something that can speak to the rest of the movie.
I think that's fair. And I mean, obviously this wasn't the point you were making, but I hate when aspect ratios change at all. Unless it's like really artsy-fartsy.
I get it when it's purposeful. So when it's purposeful, I understand. And that's what I thought they were doing, was that all of these segments where, you know, clearly you had, you know, massive staging and dancing going on, those are done in, you know, the CinemaScope. And, you know, again, they did that for a good chunk of it, but then they just they just screwed it up at certain points. So I that was my problem with that.
Christopher Nolan, quit just using IMAX randomly and changing your aspect ratio.
IMAX doesn't give a shit. IMAX is like, yes, please, more Christopher Nolan movies.
Well, let me ask you, Brian.
Yeah.
This movie, is it a target audience like 30 to 45-year-old people that grew up loving the original, or are they trying to get like the young demographic like they did the first time around?
So I view this as it's trying to hit two target demographics. Okay, one, it's trying to hit people who are our age who grew up with this movie, or not really grew up, but just like you were in high school when this movie premiered in 2004, and that is why people like Tina Fey, Tim Meadows, even a certain actor from the original does show up. Not going to spoil it, but that was all there to get us to buy in. Okay. The other demographic they're trying to hit were people who are fans of the Broadway musical to begin with.
Yeah.
Okay. People who already were like, I'm totally into that. These are people who, love musicals and especially love this musical now being in a film. So that's who I felt. I don't think this is targeted at all towards
the youth.
Just because, like, the moments when they did jump into like TikTok stuff, I'm like, I don't think that's how it works. Like, there wasn't one single. I mean, there was a filter that was used, but I was like, I don't think you know how TikTok works.
Well, Tina Fey is like 45 years old.
Yeah. Like, she should have had her intern be like, "Hey, can you tell me how this TikTok works?"
Yeah.
But no, it's a fun movie if you turn your brain off.
It'll be interesting to see how many people saw this because they liked the original movie, or if somebody who never even saw the movie saw the musical and wanted to see the movie musical, or somebody who just walks into this not having seen either.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm the guy who really didn't watch the original,
and I didn't see the musical.
Yeah, and I didn't see the musical either. Now, I'll tell you this. I'll ask you this.
Yeah,
did you have fun?
Yeah. But again, like, most of the times I was laughing came from the 2004 movie. It was the repeat of those jokes.
Yeah. So, there were a lot of jokes in this that were like, you did that, for.
It was the callbacks, and I think the time where I wasn't enjoying myself was all the musical numbers, which is kind of the fucking point.
The musical numbers, I was just like, okay, we got to get through this before we get to the next topic.
If they were done better, I think I would have enjoyed them, because, like, I feel that they already said what they needed to, and then they sing about it. Where I think of, like, one of the greatest musicals of all time, Chicago. Like, when the lawyer is talking to Roxy Hart, she's like, well, how are we going to win this case? And then he explains through the song how they're going to win it through razzle dazzle. He doesn't say, well, we're going to razzle dazzle them, and now I'll sing about it. So I feel like it was like, Katie is like Katie Haring, the main character, and is like, I'm really sad because that boy doesn't like me and I have to hang out with these plastics. And then she goes, the boy doesn't like me and I hang out with plastics. It's like, you just said that.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mentioned that the two characters I thought were hilarious were again, Avantika, butcher that, and Jaquel Spivey. I did not really like the actress who played Katie.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is about her. I feel bad for I'm gonna butcher this. Angourie Rice.
Miss Rice.
Rice. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This you're just not selling it.
Bitch, you ain't no LeLo.
No, you ain't no LeLo. I'm sorry. And I think, what, that's the problem with movies like this. And that's, I think, the problem with the movie, that even though it feels like it was made yesterday, even though it was maybe it's 20 years old. So, but the thing is, like, we all think that, and we all associate that character with Lindsay Lohan. So it's hard for me to look at another person. It's the same thing that happened with Freddy Krueger, right? Mm-hmm. You watch the remake to A Nightmare on Elm Street, and you're just like, that's not fucking Robert Englund.
Yeah.
Get the fuck. Who the fuck are you? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. So I'm sure that she is a great actress. I'm sorry, but you, like, had a Herculean task that is not possible.
Well, I thought the actress that played Regina George, like, blew it.
She had some funny moments. Especially towards the end. I don't like her breathy singing voice. If that's really her voice, because here's the other thing too. Okay, like, I don't know, like, I know that a lot of musical movies have to do the lip syncing thing. It was really bad in this one. Like, it just a lot of the cadence didn't match.
Yeah,
with the voice. and I was just like, that's not good.
But there were certain lines too, like in the this line, spoiler for a line, comes up like it did in the original. She's like, "You're really pretty, thank you," and she says, "So you agree? You're really pretty." And the way it's said in the first one, I'm like, "Oh, that's like very cunningly, like backhanded."
Yes.
And this one, she just blows the line. I don't think she understands it.
Like she's like, "Oh, you really are pretty," and it's like that's not good. Yeah. Now, I want to mention why I like the two characters and why I think these two characters kind of did sell it. Then we'll kind of wrap up here. But Avantika, or I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she plays Karen. So she comes off as literally the dumbest person in this movie.
I mean, next level stupid.
But she sells it so much. Like, it's hilarious. Every time that she is on screen, you are laughing. And you were with me, like a lot of my laughs were from everything she's done. There's, again, spoiler here, little bit. There's a scene where she takes a sandwich and she's putting the sandwich on her face like it's a makeup sponge.
It's great. Yeah, it's Grace. It shines.
And I'm just like, oh my God. So she's hilarious in this. I cracked up. And then, the reason that I love, again, butchering the name, Jaquel Spivey in this, he just had these awesome lines every time that they were on screen, and it just like sold it. Like there's a lot of scenes where obviously he's playing kind of like the narration to this film, but he just adds these punchlines to these moments that just sell the movie. So like those two characters alone made this an enjoyable film, and that's why I say, like, is it a perfect movie? Hell no. Is it a fun movie to watch if you're into musicals? Yeah, sure. I would say go watch the Waitress musical if you haven't seen that in theaters. Like I saw it. I saw it recently. It was really good. Lauren and I saw it. He was doing a live thing. So like, it's a good movie if you can turn your brain off.
I would.
I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it, Brian.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah. Yeah, and my review is why. No,
your review is why.
But yeah, I would say if you absolutely adored the original or you enjoyed the musical or both, then go. Yeah. But I would say if you just kind of either haven't seen Mean Girls or it was like I've forgotten all about it, skip it.
There's nothing new here.
Yeah,
I think that's the big thing here, John, is that nothing new was really added. It was a lot of recycled and I would say 2.0'd, right? Like you took, this is Mean Girls 2.0, just updated for 2024. That's pretty much it.
I would have liked to have seen like Mean Girls 1954,
So you're kind of beautiful.
Yeah. Oh no, it's our burn book we wrote in calligraphy. Apparently it's 1855.
Oh, good God. Wait a minute, you're using a printing press to make your burn book. Oh shit. Well, I hope that we get invited back to more of these press screens. It was actually kind of fun.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It was kind of fun. Like, we got to be like, oh, what's your name? It's like, oh, well, I'm Brian Coddington and Sean Woolscroft. Oh, you're on the list. Yeah. You can go sit in the balcony.
And then we smacked him because he looked us in the eyes.
He did.
Yeah. How dare you?
How dare you? But no, it was fun. It was fun. And thanks to Allied Marketing for hooking us up with that. That was fun to them to extend the invitation. And we hope to do more of these.
Yeah. Every movie.
Yeah, just everyone.
We'll see them all.
Yeah.
We'll review them all.
Maybe one that isn't a musical next time. That would be cool. But John, where can they find you at on the internet?
Let's see. I'm not even gonna mention the one that should not be named anymore because I'm never on there anyways. And
X, Twitter, whatever the fuck it is.
You said
next week. Okay.
Yeah. Facebook, Instagram, and over at YouTube's JDubs Video Nest.
Got any new videos coming out?
You ready to laugh your ass off?
Of course I am.
Dirty Harry is the first one I'm doing this year. I recorded it.
Are you sure?
I recorded it in like October of last year.
Are you sure?
I'll be like, hey, look how short my hair was. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. You can find me at Brian Coddington on the Twitter. Sometimes I'm on there. Or follow us at Cinema Psycho Show, or at Psycho Show on Twitter. You also find us there at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Psycho Show. We are, of course, on the TikToks, just like this movie, using TikTok. But you can find us at Cinema Psycho Show. Did I tell you that we crossed 1,000 subscribers on there?
Hell yeah.
Or followers, where the fuck TikTok's. Yeah, we crossed 1,000. So what that means, folks, is that if you're on TikTok, you can now click on the little URL to actually access our episodes. That's a fun thing.
That's far out.
That's far out. And you can also follow us at cinemapsychoshow.com/follow. And be sure to listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. And we will see you next time.
I want to see a sequel. Nice Boys.